Come on, give me a screen. There we go. We're working now. We're working now. Okay. I don't hear my own voice. That's disgusting. Alright. So, this has been a long time coming. And some folks that I've spoken to prior know this. They know it extensively. I've got some friends online. I have some friends in the real world. And friends in just many places that know that this was a long time due. This video is really just my own documentation and my own letter, so to speak, to everyone. I have been absent for an extended period of time, and this has been for good reason. I will not digress into why I've been absent for such a long time, for those of you that do know why that I have been absent. But I understand that placing this letter online, or my own formal declarations, or my own speech, can result in serious consequences. And I'm more than happy to take those consequences. Because everyone in this country's safety matters. More than my own, frankly. Frankly, my safety is irrelevant when we are considering the grand picture of everything. When we are considering what people have died overseas for. In the beaches of Iwo Jima and the beaches of Normandy, the beaches of Omaha. Millions and millions of Americans have died there. Millions of Americans have died overseas. Millions of Americans have died everywhere just so I can make this content, just so I can make this letter, just so I have the ability without being executed, without being persecuted, without being watched, without having a tied tongue. They died for that. They fought for it, and they fought valiantly. They fought until there was no fighting left to do. They fought either until they were defeated and utterly destroyed, or they fought until they won. And over 250 years ago, we won. The average lifespan of an empire, is 200 plus years. Those of you that out there that are info freaks will know that. The average lifespan of an actual empire is about 200 years. We are now passing that point. We're in the period of decline. We're in the period of civil strife. We are in the period of absolute chaos. And it's not even because of our own acts. Partly yes, but partly no. Mostly not. Because if it weren't for those assholes sitting on Washington, directing wars overseas and telling us to do this, do that. You can't go to the grocery store if you don't have this. You can't have these opinions or else you're going to be attacked. Your business is going to be burned down. We're going to throw bricks through your windows. We're going to allow this group of people to do things, but we're not going to allow you to do things. We're going to let this person own guns, but you're not going to own guns. You're religious? If you're a Christian, there's the door. If you're Islam, come on in. This is the era of biases. This is the era of everything this country stood against. My father and my uncle served in the Gulf War and Desert Storm. They've seen their friends get blown up. They've seen body parts go flying. They've killed people. They've outright killed people because of you and me. Because we're more important to them than themselves are to they are. But by that I mean they throw all self-preservation away out the window just for us to have this ability. This ability right here. This ability to say a word without being Molotov cocktailed or hung or guillotined in the square. But we don't have that anymore. We really, really don't have that anymore. And by making this letter, this immunes me from any wrongdoing the government may or may not do. We all know the government is a bad actor. That is no secret. If you are here, you know that. But what you may not know is it's not just our country. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's not Iran. It's not India. It's none of them. It's not Saudi Arabia. It's no one. It's everyone. There's at least one person in every goddamn country working against us. And let that sink in. There's a group of people every goddamn year that meet on a fucking hill in Switzerland guarded by a private military and troops, tanks, and everything. You have to pay $50,000 to get in, just to get in. Where all these rich people go and sit and decide what you get to do. What you get to eat. How much energy are you allowed to consume? What can you say? What's socially acceptable now? What pharmaceuticals can we come out to exploit the public more? What new narratives can we form to castrate the public and its ability to deflect against us? They see us as no more than just an obstacle, a threat. I believe no more than a year ago, maybe a little more than that, the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed. Those Guidestones held Freemasonry text and other occultic signs, hinting at reducing the population to 500 million, hinting at a new language, a new era, another industrial revolution, a new age for humanity, in which they want to bring to us, they so say, they want to bring us the quote-unquote fourth industrial revolution. Now, I'm not Ted Kaczynski or anything here, but the Industrial Revolution had consequences. It did kill people. It was a reformatting of society itself. It was a reformatting how the weekday went. It was a reformatting of how structural society was. People adapted to it. They adapted to the 5 to 5 job shift. Our school system is actually made and developed after making good factory workers and soldiers. That's why we have bells that ring in the hallway. It's so that they get those cues and they were good factory workers. Let that all sink in. We still have an education system from pre-World War I times, pretty much. And we're now in 2023. And we're rotting our damn kids' brains out by handing them a tablet, letting them grow up and watch PewDiePie for a living, or Markiplier, or whoever it is now. I don't know. I used to be a kid. Alright? We used to watch stupid things. Now things have gotten even stupider. And that's not even a word, but now it is, because guess what? That's how it works now. You can make up anything you want. This tangent done, I'm going to go on to something else now that relates to this. And I know that one person that is viewing this. And I thank you as well. And I hope you're doing your job as I asked you to. Because I still plan to go down swinging. I still plan to be David and Goliath, even if I am the one squashed, even if I have to inspire another David. I will not let them triumph over me. I will not let them triumph over you. I will not let them triumph over anyone in this nation without the cost, extreme cost, of their time, their energy, their blood, their sweat, their tears, any sort of will they can muster. Because they will muster it. And they're going to muster a lot more than us. So that's why it's up to you and me and little itty bitty videos like these and the little guy. All it takes is the little guy to make the difference. And no one wants to be that one guy that steps out into the field and takes sniper fire so we all know where the sniper is. But someone's got to be the damn hero. This doesn't glorify any acts of anything. Obviously. Those of you that know me know I don't glorify acts of violence. Those of you that know me know I know the consequences of what this nation may descend into. I know it's going to be dirtier than it will be prettier. Bing. I don't know if y'all heard that or not. But continuing on, our very right to the First Amendment is being stripped. Our very right for the Second Amendment has been stripped. Our right for the Third Amendment is gone. The Fourth, the Fifth, the Sixth, the Seventh. If I could go on forever. The 14th Amendment even. That is gone. There is no equilibrium in the law anymore. There is just one-sided law and one-sided justice. No, that's wrong. Double-sided. That's what I meant. And it's double-sided, because if it was one-sided, then it would be monolithic. You could tell that guy going into the courtroom, you could tell what sentence he was going to get. It didn't matter his views. It didn't matter his religion. It didn't matter his political views. Didn't matter nothing. What grade he got out. Anything. All that mattered was the facts. And so many of us nowadays don't like the facts. We don't want to hear reality. Even if we know it's true, we don't want to sit here. We don't want to listen to it. We don't want to be the one to sit here and listen to anyone's speeches that may be like this, that may be them stepping out into the field. We need bold people. We need bright people. We need everyone, every person, all the people, to be their own human. Make your own destiny. Names I can't mention on here, or else this live stream will be immediately taken down, because that's how free our free speech is, are currently running a plan to disassemble society by the year of 2030. And so far they're succeeding. They have very likely routes, one of which I believe this will be the route in which they will take, because they know they have lost control over the narrative. The internet will cease to exist as we know it. That doesn't mean it'll not exist ever. It doesn't mean it's gone, it's eradicated. It means for the common person like you and me and whoever else may be watching this years from now or listening to my voice, whether I'm dead, alive, or in the middle somewhere. I had a Joe Biden moment. I'm not gonna lie. It all compiles. These people are slowly poisoning us. They are slowly killing us. And we need to inspire more Davids. We do. And to some of you that might not be religious, you're like, who's David? What did he do? Well, David and Goliath. You know the story. Little guy versus the Nephilim. That's what they used to call them in the Bible, the Nephilim. Allegedly, they used to be a real thing. But education has been so skewed, we don't know if they are real. Education is so skewed, we don't even know for a fact if giants actually existed in one way or another in our actual world at one point. Yeah. I remember my dad, he told me a story about Desert Storm. And they would have these bunkers during a missile raid. The insurgents or the Iraqis or whatever, they'd launch Scud missiles. These missiles that would be like a 50-50 inaccurate, predisposable kind of rocket. They're called Scud rockets. And most of the time, the air defense system shot them down. But just in case, they all went to the bunkers just in case. Each bunker housed over 80 troops. My father was the only one in his bunker that held a rifle. That means if the enemy entered the compound, guess who he would be responsible for? All of those men. Sure, a few of them probably brought their weapons down with them and everything, but I mean, think about that. My father was the one trusted with the rifle to sit at the door to make sure that the compound, if it was breached, at least those guys down there got the chance to survive. He stood in the field. And he didn't have to. Instead, he could have went to the rear of the bunker where he's less likely to be shot first. But instead, he put himself right front and center. Until the all clear was heard. And he never had to use that rifle in those bunkers, thank God. But I say this because, what if you're put in that position? What if you're put in a position where you are the person trusted? You have the power for other lives if you do the right or wrong thing. You may think on it deeply, sometimes you may not. There's a lot more moments in our lives than we realize where we can impact another person's life. Simply saying hello, giving a wave, being kind, putting the cart back, offering the cart to someone else, getting the door for someone. Western society, it wasn't purple and rainbow hair with politically correct people launching Molotov cocktails through each other's windows. That is not what we represent. That is not what my father went over to Iraq for. That is not what my uncle in the 1st Armored Division rolled over Iraqis for. And I hate to say that, but damn. He's seen some messed up shit, and he didn't do all that for this shit. He did it so I could do this. He did it so I could sit here and talk to you guys, and probably damn near no one's going to hear this. It saddens me, but it's reality. And reality is sad. Because no way you look at it, someone's going to win, right? Someone will. It's not like we're going to come to the meeting table and we're going to shake hands with the big cabal and we're going to be like, "Hey, you know what? You can keep your guns. You can have freedom of speech. All right. We could do that for you. Okay?" Yeah. No, they're not going to do that. They want to kill you. And that's why I'm so angry about them. That's why I'm so upset about them. And whatever media apparatus that, God forbid this gets sucked up to some media apparatus. First of all, fuck you CNN and fuck you every single Fox News, Washington Post, New York Times. All of you, go to hell. Go to hell, you media. Fucking hellhounds. Because not a damn person's gonna believe the shit you have to say about me. Not a fucking soul will. Because this is my permanent online inked letter. to not just one body, but every body that is against us. And I realize this puts a target on my back. Some will say, why would you do this? Why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't you do it? I ask you that seriously. Why won't you do it? Because if not us, then who will? If not us, then who will? Think on that for a moment, please. Because it's that is a thought. You should have. Why haven't you? What have you done, actually, for your country? What are you doing for your community? Are you picking something up on the side of the road? Handing out stuff at the food drive? Are you standing outside your local church and waving? Are you giving food to the homeless? Are you putting back into what you live in? Because if you don't start putting back into what you live in, then it's just going to get flooded with this shit. And I know what that's like because I live in it. And to the person who I hope to God is recording this, you know where I live. You know I know how it's like. So if ever you sit there and you're like, man, this country is so far gone. Everything is so screwed. What can I do? What could I possibly do? Little old me working at Dollar General or Dollar Tree or wherever it could be. It doesn't matter what it has to be. It could be Walmart. What are you doing? Are you just stocking shelves and going to bed 9 to 5? You living your life like that? Because you're only going to live it for so long like that. You realize that, right? That 9 to 5 job is not going to mean anything if that 9 to 5 job isn't going to get you any payment. It's not going to get you any money in the future. It's going to get you screwed. You are enslaving yourself. What are you doing for your community? This is a question you have to ask yourself. What am I doing for my community? I'm going to food drives. I go and represent the church. I go and do what I can to spread the positivity, even though my life lacks it and everyone else's lacks it. Sometimes you gotta be that light in the dark. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. A lot of the times it's uncomfortable. But such is life, isn't it? That it is. So, I will not let them harm me. I will not falter. And I won't ever be submitting to them. The only time I will is when they pry it from my cold, dead hands. And some of you may say, whoa, that's extreme right there. Whoa. How? These people wish to kill you. They want to disarm you. What do you do if an attacker comes at you and he wants to take your firearm from you? You don't let it happen. Because once that attacker has that gun, you're at his mercy. Are you willing to be at the government's mercy? are you willing to be at the World Economic Forum's mercy? Are you willing to be an enslaved little good consumer? Because I'm not willing to be. And guess what that means? That means no internet, no easy access to food, no easy access to water. I can't raise a family in the traditional sense because that's not allowed. It's forbidden. It will be in the future that way. And if you're worried about feeding yourselves today, think about feeding yourselves a week from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Do you think you're going to be able to sustain the same diet you do now? Hell no. No shot. There's no chance you would be able to consume the same diet you would want to before. Meat won't be a thing. It'll just be plant or bug-based protein packs. I mean, we already see the giant push for consuming bugs and everything. From the Bilderberg Group to the World Economic Forum to Davos. From all of those places, those groups, do you trust them with your next meal next week? Do you trust them? Do you trust them to actually provide? Do you think they want to actually help you? I mean, who in the right mind would look at the current apparatus of things and be like, ah, yes, these people are clearly here for nothing but to help me? Because all I see right now is them harming us and them trying to absolutely slaughter us. All I see right now is everything my dad fought for, my uncle fought for. I still have his uniform sitting right in front of me, for God's sake. It's not there. Where's it gone? It's like this post 2008 Obama era bullshit. Ever since then, it's just cascaded. Ever since 9/11, it's cascaded. And it's absolutely sick to me that our government is willing to risk our lives, me and you, the average citizen that makes up the bread and the butter. And we provide the power. We put stuff on the shelves. We strive to do the right thing, and we strive to be better. We strive to have a passion. We strive to have drive in this country. So we're not directionless. So we're not aimless. And everyone's aimless right now. Everyone's aimless right now. No one has an idea what goal they want to accomplish, what things they want to do, how they want to do them. No one has any idea. But you do. And if you don't, you better start soon. Because they're not going to wait for you. Them waiting for you is them waiting for you to fall right into their trap. Which is why I won't throw myself away in a stupid manner. I won't cast myself into the fires to be disposed of. And have my chess piece gone. Because that is what we are. We are but chess pieces in this giant game. And my question is to you, will you play your part? Will you play your part? Push come to shove. There's no more food. There's no more none of that. Are you willing to stand and put yourself in front of the running train in hopes it'll stop? Or in hopes that even if it runs you over, at least the people behind you won't get run over because it'll stop in time. Or less people will get run over. And in some situations, you just can't win. This isn't one of them, though. This is but merely a repeat of 250 years ago, when barely a couple 100,000, even if that, settlers decided to say, you know what, King George, we're not going to handle your taxes anymore. We're not going to do this 2% rise in your tea prices. We're not going to do any of that. They revolted over a goddamn 2% tax rate hike. A 2% tax hike. They started a damn revolution over. What are you willing to do? And when? And most importantly, how? Because as you could see here, you need a lot of crap. You really do, if you ever want to make it. So look over this list. Pull this from anywhere. This FEMA supplies. This is what our own government says you should have on hand. See, they even have home, a vehicle stash, and a work stash. Wow. Even our government acknowledges the importance of being ready. Because of the kings are screwing people over. They really are. They really, really are. Look at all this. I will digress and let my message speak for itself. Look into everything you hear, everything you see, everything they tell you. The worst is yet to come. So prepare while you can. Be the light in the darkness. And strike fear into the enemy's hearts. I'd like to read a thing here. If I could find it. Yes, I'm scrolling through a notebook. I'll be sad if I lost that. Ah, here it is. So, I'm gonna go over first. There's some rules. If something goes wrong, what can you do? And first of all, you need to know yourself. You need to know your allies and all present, including your enemy. Avoid spreading information on your own supplies or movements, as bad actors may intervene. And eventually, preparing will be made illegal. Stockpiling food will be seen as an illegal act. You will be snitched on by your neighbors. Number 2, plan for anything and everything. Most common, first to last. Prepare for the most basic of disasters before you decide to become a leader, before you decide to step up and be bold and start leading a giant everything. No one's going to lead a giant everything without having something, right? So get yourself a little something before you start something, so that something has something to run on. Learn all off-grid tricks while you are able to and permitted to. At this current time, we are at an information super era where we can look up anything we want at the click of a finger. You can look anything up. Use that. Learn. Be wise. Number 4, seek more information. Always seek more information. That is not just how to prepare and what to do and how to move and react, but to thrive in a situation and despite whatever circumstances or consequences lay in your path. This includes global actors. Because you and me both know there are plenty of global actors. I'm going to read a quote and end with a quote from a Fort Benning infantry video from 1988. I want you to think of this in the current context. This is when my uncle, my dad were in the military. Certainly starting their careers. Somewhere in it. Now, this is one of their sayings. I am the infantry. I am our country's strength in war and her deterrent for peace. I am the heart of the fight, wherever and whenever. I carry America's faith and honor against her enemies. I am the queen of battle. I am what my country expects me to be. The best trained soldier in the world. In the race to victory, I am swift, determined and courageous, armed with a fierce will to win. Never will I fail my country's trust. Always I fight on to the foe, to the objective, to triumph over all, if necessary. I fight to my death by my steadfast courage. I have won 200 years of freedom. I yield not to weakness, to hunger, to cowardice, to fatigue, to superior odds. For I am tough, mentally strong, and morally straight. I forsake not my country, my mission, my comrades, my sacred duty. I am relentless. I am always there. Now and forever. I am the infantry. Follow me.